Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Hold the Mic. We are your hosts, Ryan Shead. This is my brother, Ian Sherman. How are you
What up?
doing?
No, brother, man.
Hey man, how's it going,
Feeling
man?
good. Hey, I've been just tormenting children, random kids on the street, chasing grandmas out here on these blocks.
Am I gonna see you on TikTok
You
tormenting
might see me
children
on
soon?
World Star. I don't know, man. I started a couple things today, man. Happy Friday the 13th. How we doing? We having a good time. We're having a good time.
Happy Friday the 13th to everybody.
Halloween came early
To
for
those
me.
who
That's all I gotta
celebrate.
say.
Yeah, to those who celebrate.
Hello. I see you. That's all I got to say. Crazy recognizes crazy.
That's very true. We'll get into my crazy recognizing crazy later. But first, let's talk about what everybody wants to hear us talk about, which is going to be the debate. Now, first
Okay.
off, allow me to just say thank you to everybody who watched with us. We were over 10,000 people watching the debate with us. So, yeah, thank you to everybody who tuned in. We had a lot of fun. It was,
Wow. That was a lot of fun.
dude, it was so good. It was
Really
better
enjoyed
than
it.
I expected. It really was.
Yeah.
Like I expected Kamala to hand him his behind, but it was the ease in which she did it, and it
Right.
was her ability to stay composed the entire time.
She has a temperament. She is worthy of the seat.
And you want to know when I realized he was really screwed was when he pulled the I'm talking. You
Oh, yeah, when he
recognize
tried to
that,
flex.
right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of got
yeah.
that grin on her face, like,
She
okay,
said, "Oh,
Yep.
okay."
She was like,
I got
okay.
you. I see you, boo boo.
Yeah, she's like, I see where we're going with
yeah.
this. Okay.
Oh yeah. And I want to tell you, it was funny because before it started, you were like, Ian, everybody's streaming this. I don't think we're gonna have the views,
I
but
know.
let's do this.
I was like, yeah,
Brother
we'll get
man,
100 people watching.
The replay, it's at 20-something thousand. Okay, like it's
insane.
It's growing, so it is what it is.
Haters gonna hate.
That's all there.
Analytics
Michelle, I
don't
see
lie,
you.
baby.
What's up?
Analytics don't lie.
already
24
know.
countries, 268 cities,
And growing.
20 plus thousand people watching the debate with us. Analytics don't lie, people. What are you doing on a Friday night, and why aren't you here?
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
Hey,
question.
Anywhere you could be in the world, you want to join us? Come on in.
Come
The
on
water's
in.
warm. The water's warm.
And as Kamala said, we have space. We have space for
have
everybody.
Space. We have space. Come on in.
And you know what? That's what I really liked about the debate too, was she didn't just swing at the low hanging fruit the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
No.
She brought it back to being about, look, we need to turn the page. We need to move on from this dude. More importantly, we need to move on from this agenda,
Right.
and do better. And that was the overwhelming message that I kept hearing through the night was, yeah, that's great. It's like she keeps saying, same old playbook, but we're tired of that, and we're ready to press
Move on. We're ready to move on. It's interesting. It's interesting because it was a master class of like really debating in the context that she would start to answer questions, but then she would drop little nuggets, little bait to really get under his skin.
Yeah.
And when you saw that he no longer could take it, and she had him at the first handshake, she went into his space. He was not going to pull the same shit he pulled on Hillary, where he was walking around and doing all these things and making people like uncomfortable. Like, what is he doing? He got under her skin, right? So they really knew how to mop the floor with him.
Yeah.
There it is right there, mopping the floor, right? And so it's really quite telling because she was like, okay, I'm going to stare at you when you talk. I'm going to laugh at the shit you say. The power move of taking her platform and saying her time and saying, go to his rally. Like that takes away all of his power.
It was beautiful.
All of his power,
it was beautiful.
Yeah. It was a masterclass.
It was a master class in how to debate and more importantly, how not to take the bait
Right.
when presented.
Right.
And that was clearly something that Mr. I've debated 7 times. I'm the most experienced. Clearly hadn't learned in those 7 times.
It's almost like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. It's like I've been to the playoffs so many times, but no rings. It's like, okay, I got my rings. Like,
make sure you stick around, Bunny. We got something for you in a little bit.
Oh yeah, we see you, Bunny. What's up?
I have concepts of a plan was probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite comments.
I started talking to my wife about that every time she has plans. I'm just like, I have concepts.
I have a concept of a plan.
You know what I mean? But it
I
ain't
had a
working out.
concept of a plan of us coming on at 5, but see how that works?
I drew it on the schedule in crayon.
It was scheduled that way. Unfortunately, it was in erasable marker.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
No, in all seriousness, though, it was nice to walk away from a presidential debate and not feel one of two things. One, we're screwed if Donald Trump gets in, and he's still a raving lunatic. And two, our guy is old and has lost more than a step. It was like I walked away feeling like, holy crap, we finally have a leader that's ready. Like, she's ready.
Yeah.
And we questioned it so much, leading up into the last couple months. Was she going to be ready? Was she going to be able to garner the support that was going to be necessary for her to win? And all of our questions plus more have been answered, that yes, she's ready. Yes, she's qualified. She has the experience. We've been talking a lot about the ladder to success and the career ladder. If you compare Donald Trump's career path to Kamala Harris's career path, it's very clear which one of the candidates is, the people's candidate. Kamala Harris followed a path that a lot of Americans follow. She didn't start off with a lot of money. She didn't start off with a very affluent family. She went to school. She got out loans. She got her law degree. She passed the bar exam, even if it wasn't on the first try. She became a DA. She became a AG. She was elected senator. She's the vice president, and now she's going to be our next president. That's somebody who has literally put their foot on every rung of the ladder on their way up. And that's who I want. I want the person that has had to go through every step of the way to get there, because they're going to know what everybody underneath them is having to deal with.
That's right. She has more experience going into this position, which tells you, and I think that's even more of a woman's story in America.
Yeah.
They've had to handle every step of the way to get to that number one seat, where unlike Trump, where he fails forward, and is just given the keys because he can be so braggadocious and lie to the top and use people to get to the top.
I'm sorry, this is a comment that just made me. Doomer said she should have flicked his little mushroom as a sign of dominance. I love that.
There it is. Only here on the show.
Like, in my head, I'm just like, I instantly went to like, thunk. Like, I'm going to go back over here now.
It's so good.
Yeah, like you said, he was done from the handshake. I knew he wasn't going to debate again as soon as that happened. Like, as soon as she went over into his space and shook his hand, said Kamala Harris, and it was like, oh yeah.
It was almost like that bald eagle and him again grabbing the burrito bowl all over again at his desk. It was that, just backing up like a little bitch. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so funny.
That's really what it is.
I
mean, it's reality.
So. For me, I don't think there was any real surprises. Trump was his normal unhinged self, unable to answer any direct question, always using talking points, which half of them, like Kamala said, I think you forgot that you're running against me and not Joe Biden anymore.
No, she didn't say it as gracious as you. She said, you're running against me.
Yeah. Well,
that was a threat.
Yeah. Well,
You running against me.
She was showing him who has a big dick in the locker room, and it ain't him. She's good. She is the person, and if you do nothing else, seriously, if you do nothing else, just look at the body language of the two. Yeah. Seriously, put the TV on mute and look at the way that Kamala Harris turns her body, not just her head, her whole body towards Donald Trump every time she goes to say something about him. Like, she doesn't look straight ahead at the camera or the moderators. No, she turns and looks right at him. And I love that crap. Like, I love it. It's like, stare him in his freaking eyeballs if he'll look at you and tell him.
He never looked.
Never did. Like, seriously, the dude, he maybe glanced over a couple of times, but he didn't stare her down when he was making one of his talking points. Not a single one. And you're going to tell me that dude is going to walk into a room with somebody like freaking Vladimir Putin and
no, she called it. She called it. She said she called him a puppet.
Yeah.
She said you're gonna be right there. No, there was no plan. There's no nothing. It was the most vague garbage.
He has concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a plan for everything.
Here's another thing I want to point out that I think is pretty funny from the right is they keep talking about how Kamala Harris has been in power for the last 3.5 years. Why hasn't she fixed anything? Why is she saying she'll fix it when she wins? And it's like, well, first off, she's vice president. She isn't president. It's not her agenda. It's Joe Biden's agenda. Her position is to support that agenda in any way necessary because she serves at the pleasure of the president.
Right.
So that's why that's a dumb talking point. But then it's like, okay, let's flip it on you. Donald Trump is talking about how he's going to balance the budget. He's talking about how he's going to, fix the border. He was actually president for 4 years, in case you guys forgot. And by the way, in 2017, he had both the House and the Senate. He failed to repeal Obamacare like he promised. He failed to balance the budget. In fact, he added $7.8 trillion with, I believe it was $4.8 trillion before COVID even hit.
That's right.
So, and then you've got people like Elon Musk out there, saying, oh, let's put him back in because he's best for business. Best for whose business? Not America's business.
Name all his businesses. What's working? What's working?
Like look at Trump media. Trump media, in case you didn't know, is worth about as much as Shead media at this point.
Yep. The self-hate is real.
Which is about zero in terms of public ownership.
It's hitting hard, man. It's hitting hard.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, it's right there when you look at all the failed businesses and even looking at the amount that he was given. It's not the true American story. You know what I mean? It's not. You're talking about a nepo baby that's narcissistic, and it's like it's not going anywhere. It's not going to work.
Tavi G, yeah, Demi Moore's line from G.I. Jane, that would shut him up for sure. I love that movie.
But it's interesting to me because he had that much experience as president versus a vice president. And if that was the case, then you're saying that Mike Pence had a lot more power than he did, which he didn't. You're the president of the Senate. That's it. That's your role as like the highest position that you really do have.
Do you mind if I address a troll?
Oh, by all means.
Oh,
the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So, Ron, when you say, doesn't Ryan pay for Elon's subscription and the laugh emoji? You're right, I do. And here's why I pay for it. Number one, because I pay $11 a month for Elon Musk, and he pays me around $500 to $800 a month.
Math is mathing.
So I can do this and turn $11 into anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month. So
that's smart
number
business.
one. That's number one. Number two, Elon Musk has turned Twitter into a pay-to-play platform. So because I stream this podcast there and I post there and spend as much time on there as I do, it made sense for me to pay so that my message doesn't get throttled down. So my thinking behind it was, I understand why people, decided to go to other platforms and stop participating, but I had a different approach, which was I want to be able to project our message, our democratic liberal message, on the platform and fight back. And I knew that if I didn't pay, that I was going to get throttled down. So I pay. So those are the main two reasons that I do it. And third, kiss my ass.
I'd like to add a fourth. Ryan's not shy about it, so you're not really saying anything new. He talks about it actually on this platform. So welcome to the show. Take a seat. Put your feet up. You're going to get comfortable. You may laugh. Yourself. You may laugh. You may even think for a second. But we got some things in store for you because he has a better business plan than your boy Trump does. And he's not trying to scam you out of it. So here we are.
That's very true.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
And since you're here, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can come back here for a verbal ass whooping every Friday.
I love
here
it.
We are.
Oh, God. So speaking of verbal ass whoopings,
yes,
I don't know if it would qualify as a verbal ass whooping, but I was asked a lot if I was going to participate or go to Donald Trump's Tucson rally that he had.
You
And
didn't
there
want
were,
to be Charlie Kirk up and left? Is that
you
not?
know, there were a couple of gems that came out of there. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen the video clips. But no, I
How close was
decided
that to you? How, like, in proximity?
20 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that prick was way too close to my house for my
Close.
liking.
Too close. Too
Yeah,
close.
like my sexual offender alerter should have been
Yeah.
going off, but for some reason it didn't. Um,
Gotta protect these kids, man.
hey, man. Damn, sorry, that one was fucked up. Okay. But no, we got a little clip of the turnout, and I heard that the turnout was not that great, especially considering the as you'll see, the auditorium I think sits maybe 750, maybe. So the fact that it yeah, I don't even think it seats 1,000, and this is what it looked like. Like when I look at that,
Would you like a kicker real quick for
Yeah,
our,
please.
one more thing for Ron?
please.
Trump apparently had to pay $150,000 in advance to book that space.
Yes, he did. And you
So
want to
look-
know why?
Look at some pay to play because his resume on paying venues. not
He
so good.
owed the city of Tucson $81,000.
Dang.
Regina Romero, the mayor of Tucson, wrote him a letter asking for the money about a year ago when he was in Tucson. He came into Arizona, and she sent the letter publicly. She's like, "Hey, by the way, you still owe us $81,000. We'd like to pay our law enforcement and security that kept you safe while you were in our city."
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, they started requiring, if you're going to come in, you have to pay for your security
In
before
advance.
you come.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
all because he screwed the city over the first time.
Isn't that the military rule? Every
You ain't
every
gonna get
rule
us
and
twice.
regulation.
You ain't
Yeah,
gonna get us twice.
that's it. Every one of those has a story behind it, and that's why you're doing it. So he couldn't even fill that room.
It didn't look like it. Like, I mean, of course he wasn't. You could say he wasn't speaking yet, so who knows what
Okay.
time it was? Just
Okay.
to be fair.
Okay,
But-
hey, we are fair here. We
But
are
even
fair.
that, man, I don't see a bunch of people. I don't see it being standing room only, waiting for this dude to talk.
This looks like a new indie band that's just breaking out versus the big headliner that is rocking stadiums.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge difference.
It is. And I mean, I understand that Trump he has to get in wherever he can fit in, There are places that just won't do business with him and his campaign, which limits his ability to, rent out bigger spaces that, whether he could fill them or not, I don't think he can rent them.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of his problem is that there are people that are now refusing to do business with him in his campaign.
Completely.
So,
Completely.
which I don't blame him. As
Yeah.
as a small business owner, you have to protect yourself. And if you know somebody is notorious for not paying their bills, then it's just smart business to ask for the money up front. It's like a lawyer. If you're a criminal lawyer, always get that money up front, baby, because if they go to jail, you ain't getting nothing.
Oh, man, go ahead and replay Biggie Smalls, man. 10 Crack Commandments. You know
One.
everything you didn't know about the game. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
You already know.
bro.
And I'm loving Broad Eye View right over here. We're talking about he's on the Spinal Tap tour. It's like-
He's
so good.
I like
So
that.
good. We're just gonna dial it up to 11, guys. We're gonna dial it up to 11 today.
I'm telling you, hey Peg, it's good to see you. It's good to see you all. Like Ian said, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share with people, let them know about the podcast. Again, thank you to everybody who showed up to watch the debate with us. I'm still mind blown that over 20,000 people have seen it, and we had 10,000 people with us
Live,
just that night live. So,
Growing.
and the
growing.
reviews, outside of the right wing, extremist pundits, even people on Fox News were saying, Kamala won that. Like, even they had to say,
Let's say this.
yeah,
People who are serious, period, about life and about politics. They're like, yeah, no, that was a horrible, let's just cut through the bullshit. It was a horrible debate on Trump's side. Clearly he was not prepared. You could tell it was like a book report. You saw who read the book. You saw who showed up and just thought they could wing it. And
Yeah.
the thing is that we're all understanding because we're not new to this. Trump wings everything. There is no real plan. It's concepts of plans, and it's just bullshit made up. This is the person who said to inject bleach. Like, we're not interested in you being in power when we have to deal with the world and in today's current situation. We're not interested. We don't need you winging anything. We need the right people that you're not going to literally throw under the bus because you do not know how to get out of your own way. Yeah. And in the end, you know, I'm seeing a lot of conservatives try to find the whataboutisms of all this. Well, that was 3 against 1, and I'm like, oh, okay. And here's actually a kicker for you. I reached out to all my conservative friends, and I'm like, hey, I want to know seriously, what did you think about Trump's performance? I didn't ask what you thought about Harris. I don't care about you don't like her. I got that.
Yeah.
What do you think about Trump's performance? And everything they had to say to me led back to her and how she lied. She was never honest, this and the third. And I go, what did you think about him? What did you think? Could you sit there and really take that seriously and say he did a phenomenal job? Not one of them actually watched the debate. And I go,
they're like people that don't vote. It's like, if you didn't watch the debate, then don't talk to me about the debate. Like we watched every second of the debate.
But they literally were like, no, I saw the clips. I'm like, you're literally watching a cut up clip of Kamala Harris that the NRA put together. Yeah. And it's like, did you watch what they actually broke down and what they were talking about?
So like, this is one that I posted. So the Hodge twins, who are they're just horrible people. Said whistleblower came out and said ABC gave Kamala's team the questions before the debate so she could prep, and they promised not to fact check her. The media is the direct enemy of the people. I was like, before the debate, you made fun of Kamala for prepping a week for the debate. Now you're crying, claiming she cheated because she took the debate seriously. What made you decide to support a felon, fraud, rapist, and accused pedophile over a qualified and experienced black woman? Because they're black men. Just in case you didn't know. It's just like, wow, really, guys?
They sound like bitches, but whatever. Whatever.
They're definite bitches. Yeah.
Just in general, it just gives small dick energy. You know what I mean? Oh, like it's like I'm sorry to say this. It really is going nude, jump in the pool, and you're like, you don't have big dicks. You're that tiny dick motherfucker, aren't you? You are. You tiny dick motherfuckers. That's who you are.
Sometimes the water's just cold, motherfucker.
It was cold that night.
It was cold that day. Hey, but Jeffrey's going to a Turning Point USA event, which is is that Charlie Kirk, right? That's Charlie Kirk event. Yeah, be careful around those people. Don't let their stupid rub off on you.
Yeah. Another attack they're doing right now on Kamala is that she's sorority sisters with one of the moderators. Moderator.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
And all I sat there was just like, I had to respond. I'm just like, because all of us black people know each other. Like, you know, just in general. We go to a HBCU and we're all now just in cahoots. And it's almost like we meet up. Well, we know how you go. Okay, we know.
I simply said, I go, oh, you mean the sorority sister that shut her down the one time that she tried butting in the way that they let Trump several times? I was like, that sorority sister?
You have a solid point. And you and I both got upset in the episode. In that episode,
you can go back and watch it. I was like, wow. I was like, wow, that was some
that's
bullshit.
We called it. We called that bullshit. But you know what? There's all your 3 against 1 team up.
But it just shows you like that two groups of people can watch the same thing and come out with totally different, opinions of what happened or impressions of what happened. It's just that boggles my mind.
No, it doesn't. It's people see what they want, and that's
true.
We're not here to change anybody's minds in that context. It's just like more so of, hey, we're here. If you want to come join us and you actually want to have a honest, serious conversation, we can. But this pointing fingers and these little these weak little attacks that come up from trolls and for whatever else that they try to throw at any Democrat or any person who just doesn't agree with them. It's one of those things where it's just like, you don't even understand really what's going on here, nor can you look past your nose when it comes to other people.
That too, that part.
And there's multiple layers to this. It could be that they're racist. It could be that they hate women. It can be misogynistic. It could be a number of things. We're seeing them literally troll on mainstream media at this point. And it's just like, okay, here we are. Like, why is this the news coverage that we have to talk about? Why are we talking about cats and dogs and the whole debacle in Ohio that doesn't exist? And it's like, so you're saying that it's 3 against 1 because the mediator is like that. We've talked to the state manager, and this is debunked. This is not real.
Yeah.
Like, can we move on? And it's like, no, he wanted to double down on his ignorance. But that's going too far, that you're holding Trump accountable. It's like, this wasn't a rally. This was a debate.
Yes.
He did not understand the assignment. And
No.
it makes me think about his age, where he's at.
Oh, for sure.
How he's handling himself. All the things he said about Biden made me think about him in this context.
Well, we talked about it during the Biden debate.
Yeah.
Even though it was very evident that Biden had lost a few steps, at the debate, and I think everybody at that point could see it, he was still able to, keep track of the conversation better than Donald Trump. Hell, better than you and me.
Yes.
And so it was still kind of like, you're still like Donald Trump's like, you're not beating this guy horribly, not from where I was sitting.
Right.
Like he's still like, Biden was still getting his not just his jabs, he was getting his right hooks in. And so then to see, like you said, then to switch it up and go, okay, now you aren't going up against an 81-year-old man anymore. Now you're going up against a 59-year-old badass who is about to show just how unhinged you are.
Right.
And like you said, there definitely came a point during the debate where I think, like you said, most rational people probably said, wow, this feels like when we watched Biden. He seems senile. He seems like he can't keep track of the conversation. He seems like he can't answer a relevant question.
I don't know.
Like his rambling was even more incoherent than it's been in the past. So clearly,
and here to add what you're saying.
Yeah, please.
The fact that he was so thrown off by her small comments that triggered him in a debate. What is it like when it's a world leader who is controlling him, manipulating him via compliment? Because if it's that easy to control him on some negative shit, what would it be like to praise him and
stroke his ego a little bit?
Stroke that ego and give him, the golden toilet. And it's just like, here's the golden knee pads, and here's the golden mouthpiece, and here we're going with it. Yep. Because they literally have him in his hand. It's just done. Done. He's so easily manipulated. He's a weak man. Old man.
Yeah.
And you Republicans chose him. How? It boggles my mind, because you guys literally talked about how Biden was such an old man.
What happened in Reno with Tim Walz? Did they cancel a Reno event?
I don't know. You guys want to feed us in the
yeah,
chat?
because some people are putting it in the chat. That's why I'm asking. I agree with what Rochelle said. I think Donald Trump underestimated Kamala Harris. Clearly, he didn't prepare.
He said she was dumb as rocks. What does that make him?
Yeah.
He
said he was more experienced. He's done 7 of these. Blah blah. Like he literally. Yeah. Like, it made me want to go, hey, Donald, how are you going to go tell all your friends and family that a black woman just whooped your ass?
Well, I think he's going to come out with a diss album,
hurt.
And he's going to tell everybody he got shot 9 times. Like, he's going to look like 50 Cent. Like, he's going to be able to put it out there straight up. I got shot 9 times. I'm coming out with a diss track. Get out of here.
Republicans really do have low standards.
They would eat it up. They would absolutely eat it up.
And I hate saying Republicans, because I know some Republicans in my life that, they don't want to abandon the party. They want to be a part of turning the party around, but they're not Trumpies. So there is a difference, but at the same time, it gets really hard to stand up for them when they don't stand up and say something about other Republicans doing nasty, ridiculous things, or other Republicans standing up for Trump. It's like, it's not just enough to say, well, I don't support Trump. It just isn't.
The one thing that I would say that I give Republicans credit for is that they get behind theirs and they lock in. And I always revert back to how Democrats eat Democrats, and i.e. that's Al Franken, and how they got rid of Al Franken, which we always talk about. I think that was the dumbest move that ever happened out of the Democratic Party. But that also shows you how easily they could become a cult, because they just, no matter what, get behind each other, and they can't hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And in this situation, I will break it down being different. You have Republicans. You have people like Liz Cheney. She is a Republican. Dick Cheney is a Republican, and they are going against this man. And there are Republicans for Kamala Harris, as we're seeing. This is mega. This is the cult that they really needed. It's cancerous. It is definitely infectious within their party, and maybe it's what's necessary for this party to have to go through a complete revamp. So who knows?
Yeah.
We may see the death of the party at this November.
It's possible. I got to tell you, I look forward to a day. I hope we see it before we're gone, that we have more than two viable political parties.
We used to. Historically, we used to.
Or we get to a point where we start adopting, ranked choice voting, and maybe other ideas that I have no idea about right now. But we definitely need to reevaluate our system. You want to talk about cheating. I think the biggest tool for cheating right now is honestly the Electoral College. That is the biggest tool that one party has over the other to negate the popular vote.
It puts a lot of pressure on winning people who are not willing to, people who are not really open-minded. People who are not really surrounded by culture, people who are not exposed to different cultures. It's very heavy on, and I'm not trying to say the flyby states don't matter. They do. They feed America. There's very important people there. It's just an element there where you always wonder where racism or where bigotry comes from, and it's from the absence of exposure. Because you have someone like J.D. Vance, or you have somebody like Trump, who sits there on their podium and screams all these fake narratives and all these lies, and they sell them this false dream. And you can only imagine that they're like, well, I need the help. I need the assistance. This person's going to do it. They are telling me they're going to do it. That was 2015 into 2016. But if you're still falling for the okie doke,
that's it right there. If you're still falling for this,
that's on you. There's no way around it anymore.
So,
and yeah,
this had me laughing. We need to start an underground railroad from Springfield to my house. Anyone want to help?
Well, here's the thing. It's not Springfield. Everybody there loves them. Everybody's having a great time.
Oh, man.
It's these assholes that are trying to take the number 1 and 2 seat. They got to go, man. They got to go. We got to get rid of them. Because everybody in Springfield saying, look, we love the community that we have here. They're even championing it. This is some of the most hardworking people that have come to this area and are helping us rebuild our town, our city.
Yeah.
Rebuilding Ohio.
There's a lot of misinformation and hate being pushed. As a matter of fact, I think that's a good place to talk about Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene. So there's currently a virtual MMA fight going on between Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor
Butch,
Greene.
Something bodies.
Two blonde, bleach, blonde, butch.
It's
body.
like Godzilla vs. Kong. Is that what we're looking at?
Man, Jasmine has some. She has bars, dude. I can't say it the way she did.
Yeah, she's like the Kendrick of Congress.
I just want to hear "Put It on the Beat" and just have Jasmine go into it, man.
Yo, it's going down, but it's something, man. Let's get ready to rumble.
I'm telling you. So, and I will say that you've messed up when you've lost Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, let me show the video first. So this is a video.
This is how it started, right?
Well, I don't know if this is the video that started it all, but it's along the same lines. Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to say that she's being racist, that Laura Loomer is being racist, and that there's no place for it. And it's just kind of like, hi, pot, meat, kettle.
This is so wild, man.
So, but just have a listen to what Laura Loomer said, and then we can discuss it.
Saying, well, ain't nobody but the law. I'm one of these, strong, independent black woman. I don't need no man, and I'm gonna get Whitey. And I'm gonna lock Donald Trump up, just like Letitia James, right? And she goes, now you're gonna elect me, and I'm gonna lock him up. We're gonna get Trump. Like the way they talk and their little DEI Shaniqua voices, and it's just very piercing, very irritating sound. They all have the same voice. I'm talking about Kamala Harris, Letitia James, and Fani Willis. Like all of the meritless DEI Shaniquas talk the same way. It's very obnoxious the way that they talk.
Speaking of obnoxious, Exhibit A. So,
just a grotesque human being. I mean,
right?
anytime and look, this is dear white people. Please don't impersonate black. And here's the thing. That's not even black.
Yeah, that wasn't even black.
That is literally when you try to act and you put your spin, your own bias on what a black person sounds like. Like, keep in consideration, we come in all shades, shapes, colors, everything. All right. I'm right in front of you. This is how I talk. And we can do the 9 to 5 business performance and give you that Obama. We do it. And then the moment we close that door, take off that suit. What's up, player? We see each other. It happens. But there's a reality there where it's like, if you don't have the finesse and that soul, it ain't coming out correct.
No.
You look like you took off the sheet to give us a little TED Talk. And I'm just telling you right now, it does not work.
I like that. Yeah, so now let's move back to what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. So Laura Loomer put out something, said, if Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer sat. And it goes on. So Marjorie Taylor Greene replied with, this is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down.
Yo, now let me ask you, who's been hanging out next to Trump this entire time? This doesn't represent Trump? She wrote that probably sitting next to him. Let's be serious. And here's what I'm trying to understand. You're picking a fight with the Haitians. You're picking a fight right now with blacks for Trump. You're picking a fight with Indians. What are you doing?
Yep.
What is the group of people you want voting for you? Explain, because it's not just white people in this country as a majority anymore. I'm sorry.
Nope.
There is a massive amount of individuals here. I mean, you know what? Oh no, they haven't really attacked any Asian people in this country besides Kung Flu and all that shit that he said ways back. He hasn't this time around.
Oh, Trump. Okay.
Trump.
Yeah, just his normal China, talking points. But I don't.
China.
Outside of that, I can't think of any off the top
They
of
haven't
my
done nothing.
I can't
like
think
this.
of anything off the top of my head. Yeah.
Nothing like this. They're not saying cats, dogs, none of this bullshit. It's none of that stuff. It hasn't been an attack on them yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who they're trying to get.
Yeah, I just don't understand these people, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene who completely lack all ability for self-assessment, self-awareness. Like, she has none.
Yeah.
It's like, lady, that's you. Like, you are not, you're like maybe 2 degrees colder than that. No, you are not the person to be out here playing moral police.
Right.
And so
with your
just,
Jewish space lasers and all
yeah,
that
with
shit.
exactly.
Get out of here.
So,
but we have our very own over here, Angry Bunny, who I captured handling business and collecting all these Republican men, all these conservatives. And I was like, Angry Bunny's over here. She put in the work, man. She's putting in the work. And I got to congratulate you. You captured this moment and you're calling it out.
Yeah, she says, all Republican men are telling you to be quiet like the good handmaidens they've made you. One says, guys, put aside your petty cat fight. Do this after the election. Can y'all knock it off? We have an election to win. Come on, Lord Loomer and MTG. Can we do this after the election? And we have the most important election of our lives. We have to win this election. Otherwise, America is done for. This sounds like high school chick crap. Knock it off. We don't really give a rat's ass about your problems with each other. Girls, keep it offline.
Yo, I give it to Bunny, man. She gave you the poo-poo platter of these idiot-ass men and how they really do think. They want a whole bunch of those Katie Brits in the kitchen.
Quiet. Get your butt back in that kitchen.
Oh, yeah. And I saw you, Bunny. I saw a lot that you were going in them. She was like, I bet you how many of these are phone calls telling them to shut the fuck up. Like, it's really there. It's really there.
Let me see.
Great job.
I see what that one is. Okay. So, yeah, with that, it's two races trying to decide who's less racist, I guess, is essentially the breakdown.
It's like Judy Garland in blackface. All right, I'm telling you right now.
Like,
you haven't seen it. It's really good. Go watch that clip.
I haven't actually.
She got Wizard of Oz after she did blackface.
Oh, nice.
Mwah. Perfect Hollywood. Classic Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, back in the 30s, that was slightly more acceptable. I'm saying the culture back then. I'm not. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying when you go watch it.
Oh, it's pretty cringy.
It's really cringe.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's bad. I'm telling everybody to watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So,
yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Angry Bunny for doing the Lord's work out there.
You inspire me. I want to be you when I grow up. I'm just telling you right now, Angry Bunny.
Oh man, you got to make them eat their words sometimes. That's how a lot of us garnered the following we have. By coming out and just factually breaking these people down, being like, look, here are the facts. Like, here's actual evidence on like anything you guys ever say. Half of them are like breaking news. So and so are doing this and doing that, and it's like, okay, where's the evidence?
Right.
Like, where are you getting this from? What is your source?
Show me your receipts.
And they never have a good source.
Stop fact checking.
Yeah, like, I like to Google things and check it. Like, give me some information to go off of here.
Yeah.
Like something to read besides you saying it.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing for me is just watching all these people spout nonsense and then and also the people believing it without any actual, verifiable proof.
And that's the willful ignorance. Like you literally just you can accept, trust me, bro, as gospel.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you see Rochelle on the same page, girl? That is literally
you guys literally said it at the same time. That's creepy.
She's my spirit animal. I'm just telling you.
Spirit animal.
Now. Yeah.
Yep. What's Jinx? By the way, I have an idea that I think we need to start promoting. I want to bring back Slugbug. Slugbug. You remember that game, right?
No.
Slugbug. Every time you're driving down the road and you'd see a Volkswagen Bug, you'd slug the person next to you.
Oh, what did we call that? We called it
something else.
No. I'm sure it was probably something racist. What the hell?
I was about to say, is there a hood version of this that I was unaware of?
I gotta remember what it's called. Now I don't know, and I'm not gonna put it on air.
I was about to say, yeah. This feels like one of those that should be a text later.
You ain't getting me on this joke. You ain't getting me.
But no. So for those of us who do remember Slugbug, I think we need to do the same.
That sounds like some Leave It to Beaver shit. What is this?
Dude, this was when we were kids. You're driving, you doing a long road trip, and you play Slugbug.
All right, black people, raise your hand. Who played Slugbug?
Okay, so they called it Punch Buggy. Okay, so I'm not the only one.
I'm just saying I can see the demographic.
Abuse. We called it abuse.
Thank you, Bunny.
Punch Buggy. See, everybody but everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying I now see the demographic of our show. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a lot of white people. But no, I think we need to do the same thing with the Cybertruck. Every time you see one of those ugly pieces of garbage, but we need to call it something good.
Oh man.
Like I don't know. What did Pat say? Tesla slap? I don't know about that one. It needs to be good, like punch buggy or it's got to be some slug bug, something like that. Cyber junk. I don't know.
I'm not
Cyber punch.
participating.
Cyber punch. There you go.
Ooh. Cyber junk. There it all is.
I like cyber punch.
God, it's so good. It's just cringe, man. Just to see those trucks, it's cringe. My wife is finally spotting them, and it's hilarious to see her response.
Oh,
She goes,
dude,
people
the
actually
kids.
buy that shit? She
The
goes,
kids are priceless.
there's not many here. There's not many out here. And so when she sees them, we're just running around. She sees them.
Tesla tickle. Oh my God, cyber cuck. That's a good one. Tesla tickle, cyber punch. What are some other ones? I discovered 2 neighbors have one. Yeah, we've got several here in Tucson, and it's just like if there was ever something that was a clear presentation of I'm a douche, it's somebody driving a Cybertruck. Like,
Yeah, 'cause that
honestly,
definitely
if
came
you
out.
gave me a Cybertruck, I would fucking sell it and either give the money to a charity or go buy myself something that I actually wouldn't be embarrassed to be spotted in.
I would probably blow it up for the gram. Yeah,
I don't know, because I've seen it
for
done.
charity. I'll blow it up for charity.
And it's the cast aluminum frame on the bumper that I love most.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It is so bad.
So bad.
Like, I've got video, guys. You really should go see it on some of my social media.
It's
It is.
bad.
I forget what his name is, but a dude that he does videos about trucks and like basically beating the crap out of them and seeing what
Right.
they can take. And the video, 13-minute video he did on the Cybertruck, and it started off like I was actually kind of worried, like, oh man, this dude's gonna prove the Cybertruck is actually freaking good. Like, it kind of started out that way, and then it went downhill very quickly.
Very fast.
Very fast. Like, that car started literally falling apart.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, that's cheap. Like,
Yeah.
that is cheap.
Yeah.
And the other best part was the one recall for the gas pedal, because it was plastic and it kept slipping off the clip and it would get jammed up. So what would happen was you'd push the gas pedal down and the pedal would slip forward like that off the clip that was on the base, and it would jam itself underneath the thing so that you couldn't, the pedal wouldn't come back up.
Wouldn't come back up. Nope.
So you're doing 70 and the pedal's just
That's it. That's you. Bye-bye.
put that self-drive on and try and get down there.
Shit looked like a terrible hearse from Roblox, man. That shit looks terrible.
Oh my God. Yeah, it does double, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It'll take you
It's
right
an
to the
ugly ass
grave.
car, man. It's just ugly. And I wonder who he scammed, because he didn't create it. So who did he? What
See,
child?
I actually think he could have created that,
Concepts of a plan.
concept-wise. Yeah, concepts of a plan. And then he said, "Here, build this." It's like, because
He
here's
drew it
honestly,
with
when I
plan.
look at Tesla and the timeline of their designs and what has come out, like,
Right.
you look at what it started with. That original Roadster was a bad looking car.
Right.
Like, that made everybody want a Tesla. And then Elon,
But that was the original creators.
I believe that car was attached to the 2 men that actually created Tesla.
The company. Right.
Right. So what I think we saw, this is just my personal opinion, what I think we saw happen was Elon pushed those 2 gentlemen out of the company. And I believe that once they were gone, because they were the actual brains behind it,
Right.
that he filled himself with yes people that started to just do what he wanted. And we saw what happens when you put a infantile child in control of a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Same thing he's done with Twitter. He's literally tanked Twitter in a matter of a year. It's quite
And that's
impressive.
what I mean. I know people who bought a Tesla when it was like kind of a cool thing. It was 5-10 years ago, like the beginning of it all, and it was expensive, right? If you're buying a Cybertruck, you're a douche, because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're dealing with Musk now, right? It's
Yeah.
not. It's after, it's post X or whatever this is, Twitter. It's just it's there's no way around it, and
Nope.
there's even conversations about how he's upset because people are like Brazil, for example, being like, we're not using Twitter, like we're not doing this anymore, we're done. And so they're talking about how he's pulled out people from SpaceX out of the country of Brazil. It's just children, man child, just, I'm sorry, not doing their part. You're golden. You didn't, no one even noticed. It's one of those things where, when you think about it, of like, okay, if anything happens to any of these companies, Tesla, this or SpaceX, how is he going to use the other ones to then flex on you? And it's just like, no one's even interested in you, man. No one's interested. Like, let it go.
Yeah. No, Cybertruck is the new Pinto. I like that one. So before we move on from, well, we're not really going to move on from Trump because I think we got 2 more videos relating to him, but I want to talk about a new crypto scam that is popping up that I think everybody should know about.
This is dangerous.
This is dangerous. So this is from old Trumpy.
Join me live on Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. this September 16th for the launch of World Liberty Financial. We're embracing the future with crypto and leaving the slow and outdated big banks behind.
So Elon Musk and him have come up with this this little scam. Now, for those of you who may not spend as much time online as I do, following Elon and what he does, one of the biggest things that he used Twitter for was manipulating the crypto market. He did it because one of the biggest incomes for Tesla, and you, again, go Google this and verify it. One of the biggest income for Tesla was their crypto investments.
Right.
So it becomes really easy to make profits off of crypto when you are able to manipulate the market when you need to.
That's right.
And that was literally what Elon was doing. And he stopped doing it for a while because people were catching on to what he was doing and he was getting in trouble. So this is just another example of a scam. It's a
for Elon's scam, just to give people context.
Yeah.
He was using Dogecoin and Bitcoin. He was invested in Bitcoin, but he was saying that Tesla would accept Dogecoin for payment.
Yep.
For a Tesla. And so there was this huge, massive movement. People started flocking in, buying up Dogecoin. And then Elon had Dogecoin at the time. And then he did a sell-off, a massive sell-off. So he walked away with a lot of people's money.
Yep.
And when you see these kind of pump and dump schemes, it's very easy when you don't understand what's going on with crypto. There is some great altcoins. There's some, there's going to be great possibilities for this technology, especially as we go into the future. But right now, much like the EV infrastructure, we don't have it here yet. But it is on the breaking point. There is some things there for us to all educate ourselves safely to understand what you can do with crypto in general. It's not just currency, just what it can do with technology of sending information. It's ridiculously insane how vast it's going to take us. And you think about this within the context of like light year travel and all this other stuff. It's just it's really ahead of us.
Yeah, for me, I think the American people should really pay attention to a man who is willing to come out why he is running for president and push a crypto scheme, with Elon Musk. Like, it's probably not a good idea to put him in office knowing that what Elon Musk wants is to deregulate everything.
Yeah.
So imagine somebody being in the crypto market, having their own cryptocurrency, and being president at the same time and being able to literally manipulate the market and deregulate it.
That's right.
That's what I hope people pay attention to. Like, this is the guy that said, "Oh, I'll remove myself from my companies, if I'm elected president." He never did that.
Yep.
He was always running the company while he was president. And if you don't know which one he put first.
Yeah.
So, stay away from the crypto, because again, if you go look at Trump media, I think it's at about $16 now.
It's dropping. It's just a steady drop, man. It's been falling hard.
So bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, so he sees that coming to an end.
And I feel for anybody, do not try to pump and dump that. Like, don't.
Yeah, no, it's not
stay
worth
away
it.
From it. Just stay away.
It's not worth it. Thank you. Divest was actually the word I was looking for. Thank you, Rochelle. Donald Trump said that he would divest from his businesses and let, his family run it. And he never did that.
And now he wants to create a crypto coin.
Yeah. And he wants president. And he wants to deregulate everything. And again.
And Project 2025, Ryan.
Yep.
He wants to then also disable the Fed and tell the Fed what to do.
Yep.
It just doesn't sound smart.
So
sounds like it's casinos.
In February 2021, a 10K filing revealed that Tesla had invested $1.5 billion in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. The company indicated it would soon accept Bitcoin as a form of payment.
That's right.
So Elon Musk has been doing this for a while, and he still kind of does it, but not as much as he was. Like, it was daily. And the way that he was able to especially the Dogecoin there for a while, the way he was able to fluctuate that one, he made a lot of money off of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, it's one thing to invest in something, but essentially what he's doing is insider trading, but with crypto.
It's essentially, and he has a platform because if he just makes one tweet,
that's it. 175 million people that follow him on his platform, even if half of them are bots.
Grifters are griff.
And then the bots amplify it.
But I also wonder, and keep this in mind, how easy is it for foreign entities, i.e. oligarchs, i.e. Putin, to buy coins and it be legit?
Oh, too easy. And not only that, money laundering options.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
If we're talking about washing and making it a certain way, just like how the this social media platform that he had.
Yep.
Same thing. Yep. It was easy to wash their hands money and really kind of just in a way get an investment from a foreign agent.
Yeah. Now, the worst thing was that to me, that wasn't even the worst thing Donald Trump did this week. To me, this was it. And especially considering how many people out there, put the flag in their bio and claim to love the flag and criticize people who burn the flag and blah, blah, blah. But they're perfectly okay with this. Like, that was at a 9/11 memorial. That was on 9/11 that he did that. So it's like, you guys don't care about the flag code. You don't care about laws. No. You don't care that he's a felon. You don't care that he's a fraud. You don't care that he's a convicted sexual abuser or found liable of sexual abuse, because I know how much you guys like to pick and choose your words. An accused pedophile, somebody who disparages our military, who refused to go to Dover Air Force Base after one time because he got chastised by a family, that totally abandoned the Kurds, that ignored the 4 special forces people that were killed in Niger. Like, this dude is a massive piece of garbage. And if you watch that debate and you watch videos like what I just showed you, and you're still undecided or you still want to vote for Trump, then you are a very lost person.
There are also the same people who are who claim that Kaepernick taking a knee was disrespecting the flag.
Yeah.
They're the same exact people.
Well, and what did Trump say? I mean, Trump literally cursed, I think, when he responded to that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, but you're okay with that.
But you literally are disrespecting the flag, like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting a freaking domestic terrorist and a felon sign the flag like he's some hero. To me, that's even more disgusting than signing the Bible.
I love, and it may be some folks that are in this chat here posted this, but I love that it was, here's the presidents, Trump, Biden, Madam President elect, sitting there and they're taking photos, and then you hear just one annoying voice in the background out of this ocean of people. Donald. It's like, well, they clearly brought somebody with them, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And then like a guy chimes in. And it's like just 2 voices screaming his name, and it's just like, A, it feels staged, and B, it's like you're at 9/11 on 9/11. Please have some dignity. Shut the fuck up. Like, this is a place where it should be just a moment of silence. You know, it's not you screaming whatever because you want to grift and you want to be there and you want to be.
Did you hear the lady that was criticizing him though?
No.
There's a video of him and the lady's like, "Where you been? I've been here for 20 years. Where you been?" And it was just like,
there's that one.
Yep.
There's that one. Because I was going to say, was he there last year? Was he there?
I don't believe he was.
Was he there when he was president?
I don't know. Be interesting to see. But she called him out. She was like, "I've been here for the last 20 years.
That
Where
sounds
you
like
been?"
a true New Yorker. Where you been?
Yeah, she had a New York accent.
Been?
Yeah, she had a New York accent.
I've been on this block. Where you been?
You know, but I mean, it's valid.
That might have been a Rob in a wig. Who knows, man?
And hey, I will say this: Donald Trump is not the only politician to, come to those events when it is politically beneficial,
right?
And not because they know it's the right thing to do.
That's
he's not the only one, but he's just the one that we like to pick on.
When you're bringing a conspiracy theorist as your date to a 9/11 event on 9/11, you're asking.
But I mean, everybody that's surrounding him at this point is either a conspiracy theorist or a literal criminal.
Yeah.
Like people that have gone to jail for this guy.
Yeah.
And they're still hanging around him. Like, I'm sorry, if I go to jail for somebody and you don't step up and you don't take care of me and like, I'm not coming back. Like, oh, let me go to jail again for your dumb ass. Like, no.
There's a part where, I mean, he knows the best people,
Yeah.
They're really, it's the bottom of the barrel that he has left with him. And keep in mind that they really were banking, because we gotta rewind it a little bit, Ryan. After he was shot 9 times and that he, went into the RNC and they were championing this whole thing that he was pretty much going to be shooed right into the presidency, right? The momentum was there.
Yeah.
They were celebrating. They were celebrating a little too hard, like they had it all in the bag.
Yeah.
The massive shakeup that came in, and like we said, Biden took one for the team on the chin, and they spent how many millions as a diss to him, and it's like wasted those millions because now it's like
they wasted their whole convention
completely, and it was beautifully done. Another masterclass.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where you now see Kamala in the seat and how she's driving everything, and now this massive shift in movement behind her, where Trump is now realized, and he has probably the people in his ear who are telling him that, you did a really great job, boss. You did a really great job in this debate. And it's like, no one's really telling him the truth. And no one was telling him the truth when he was president. And here we are, where he's still walking around like, yeah, I got this. I don't know if he doesn't trust his own eyes. Because when he was in Arizona, that's not a massive room. That's not what you were doing.
Yeah, no, that's not. It's not. It's a theater. It's not a stadium. It's not. Doesn't seat 20,000. Like I said, it maybe seats 1,000, 1,500. You remember our auditorium in high school? That seated 700.
Oh wow.
So I mean, just look at that auditorium and remember our auditorium from high school. We didn't have the upper balcony,
right?
So maybe add 200, 500 for that,
right?
But
well, mezzanine. Okay.
That was the size of our auditorium.
Yeah.
Like,
so he's doing high schools.
Basically, I mean, yeah, it's a step up. It's a community college.
Okay.
So, but look, I think what I'll end us talking about, I believe it'll be us talking about, that'll end us talking about Trump. And by the way, just in case you didn't pick up, Laura Loomer is flying around on Donald Trump's plane. The one we just showed you the racist, clip of. She's literally working for Trump now. So, like you said, surrounds himself with the best people. With that said, we've talked on the show about, Trump's campaign using the families of veterans, the families of the soldiers that we lost over in Afghanistan, and other things. And this video is just another example of how low the Trump campaign will go and how unthoughtful they are about how what they're posting might affect the families of some of these people. And so I just want to play this video, and it's the father of Aiden Clark, who was an 11-year-old boy who was killed. And
this Trump is also in Springfield, Ohio.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah, they're really going after this Haitian movement right now.
So I'm just going to play it, and then we can talk about it.
Clark was killed by a 60-year-old white man. I bet you never thought anyone would ever say something so blunt. But if that guy killed my 11-year-old son, the incessant group of hate-spewing people would leave us alone. They make it seem as though our wonderful Aiden appreciates your hate. Using Aiden as a political tool is, to say the least, reprehensible for any political purpose. And speaking of morally bankrupt, politicians Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump, they have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio.
Yep. So, yeah, like I said, that was a very shocking comment to say that he wished his son had been killed by an old white man. That just shows you how sick these people are. Yeah. That they're willing to use his 11-year-old son to push their immigrant agenda, their anti-immigrant agenda, I should say. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Dealing with people.
JD Vance is trash, and the way that he's even talked about, they lack empathy, and even to use the story, they don't see humanity. They don't see people who are actually struggling, people who they only see pawns, and they only see people that they need to step over to get where they want, which is power. And we know that JD has no backbone and he has no soul because he is willing to give up anything for power.
Yep.
And Trump's never known anything but.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist who was a silver spoon up his ass. It's not a person who really, do you know what I mean? It's not.
I didn't mean it like that, Tabby.
Okay, all right.
I know she's 60 equals old. I mean, I'm 42 and I feel pretty old, but
60. You about to collect a check, girl? You about to collect a check?
Yeah, that's Vance really has. He's lied about so much. It's really sad to see what some people will say, are willing to say, and I have to believe that Vance knows some of the stuff he's saying is complete nonsense.
Yeah.
So if the fact that you're willing to go out there and, sully your good name, by pushing these extremist positions, because you want to become vice president.
Right.
It's like, I get it. Power is very attractive, but how you get there matters.
Yeah. There's a comment about from the Void Alone. My aunt was killed by a immigrant, and it's if you scroll down a little bit.
I got it.
So read that one.
My aunt was killed by a migrant worker who was her romantic partner, and I didn't let that turn me into a vile racist. If my aunt's murder was used like that, I'd say the same thing. Well, first off, sorry for your loss.
Absolutely, and that's tragic because of how intimate that is.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother shine on domestic abuse and what's going on in this country and what's happening.
Yeah.
What's really tragic about this other scenario is that was just a traffic accident. That was a car hitting a school bus, the school bus going over. It wasn't even anything personal. It wasn't even anything that they knew each other. It was just a car accident.
Yeah.
And it happened to kill. And that's what's really tragic about this, is that it was just a kid on a school bus. And then now it's turned into this whole thing that sounds bigger than it really is. It's, it's more so of just that. But, sending love to you. Void alone.
For sure. So yeah, with that, let's move on to your Feelings Friday.
First off, you shouldn't have shown the picture first.
Why not?
But Feelings Friday, here we are. As you guys always know, for Feelings Friday, we always talk about those who get caught up in their feelings. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to do before my man jumped the gun,
My bad,
is I wanted to talk about one of the biggest conservative friends I have. He is a camp counselor. He didn't get the business on his own. It ran in the family, but he's great with kids. They did a 12 documentary series on him and his family. Show the picture. My friend Jason here, pro-life, great with kids. I didn't put a mega hat on him for this photo, but I wanted to let you guys know that Feelings Friday, today's his day. And I just want to say, if you guys see him, run first, and maybe you might make it. But the reality is, let's make sure that we don't see this nightmare in our lives, and we call that the mega movement. And let's make sure that dies, because if there is 12 movies of mega, I'm going to be upset with all of you, okay? Show up. I need you to go register and vote. I need y'all to get ready, because we have about 55 days before.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
I think I have a countdown. I have a countdown on my phone, so I can.
Okay. All right. But just know, Jason is good with kids. You just might not get them back the way that you
53
gave them.
days.
53 days.
Yep.
Here we are.
And with that said, a good site that you can go to vote.org, or you can also go to voterepro.org. And so that's voterepro.org. And this is an organization that I'm working with to try to get registered voters that also are focused on reproductive rights. So it's a really cool website that you can go register, and then there's another step that you can go find your local representatives that are for women's rights. So it's a really cool site. I'm really glad they reached out to me to allow me to help amplify them and what they're doing. So, everybody, I love organizations and people out there that are doing this kind of work, because it really is important to, get these young people involved. And, it'll be right around the corner that my daughter, needs that site. So, really like this organization, voterepro.org. Go there, send the site to anybody that that might need to check the registration or register to vote. Or they can just use the site you can still go search for your local representatives that are pro-choice.
Right.
So,
and the thing is that with that, Ryan, I have to touch on this one thing, because we are talking about Springfield, Ohio. We're talking about Jason. We're talking about a lot of things on this Friday the 13th. I have a bone to pick with conservative men, and specifically to you, JD Vance. If you're gonna start these rumors about Haitians eating animals, cats, dogs, everything, and you're going to put this out there, conservative men, I don't trust you, and here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't eat the kitty, I can't trust you. I'm going to need you to understand something here. You're trying to take away women's rights, and you don't eat the kitty, I can't trust you. Real men eat the kitty. And I'm going to need you to step your goddamn game up. You got to eat the kitty.
Dude.
And if you're a real man, you're going to eat that kitty. And you're going to like it and ask for seconds. That's my TED Talk. Thank you for stopping by.
I saw a meme the other day that it was a truck that had "I eat kitty from the back." And it was a woman.
I second that message.
And a woman shared it, and she's like, "I have followed this man from fucking Springfield, Illinois, down to freaking Indianapolis trying to see what that's about.
I'm telling you right now.
I was dying laughing. It's like,
You're on
I
the
have
whole
followed
night.
this man 350 miles.
We stand by that message. Eat the kitty. All right.
Yeah, I think you can tell. Let that kitty have a seat.
You ain't telling that kitty
Bunny.
to take a seat?
Yeah, no, Bunny will. Yeah, she'll get us in trouble.
Hey,
She-
bring that Freaky Friday energy here. All right, here on Hold the Mic. Here we are.
Good TED Talk, sir. Good TED Talk.
That's my TED Talk. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
I always eat the kitty. Oh my god. I hope my wife is watching this right now.
Hey man, you better show up hungry.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm always ready for dessert.
That's what's for dinner.
How is this the end of the show?
Because we like to end on a high note. All right, and I really do hope that conservatives are taking notes. Eat the
Yeah,
kitty.
conservative men definitely need to take notes.
I'm gonna take this home with me.
That would require them to actually care about somebody else's orgasm, though. So
We'll see. We'll see. You know, they're all becoming fans of your show.
Yeah, quickly.
Quickly.
With that said, we end on some positives. We got. I'm going to talk about my positive, but this is a positive I just wanted to point out in case you guys didn't see it. I don't know if will it let me talk over the video. I don't think it will. But this is a quick video I'll show of John Bon Jovi helping somebody that was in crisis off of a bridge in Nashville. And it just really warmed my heart. So I thought that I would show it to you real quick.
John Bon Jovi.
Why am I sweating? Angry Buddy said.
That kitty talk will get you, girl. I'm gonna tell you right now.
But no, so it's John Bon Jovi's always come off as one of those cool dudes. So it's nice to see, that he's somebody that would step in one of those situations and do something kind for somebody else. And with that said, I just want to say, if you or someone you know is having a mental health crisis, there's a hotline that you can call. It's 988, and it's like our own little 911 number, but for mental health folks like us. So if you're struggling and you need some help, don't hesitate to pick up the phone. Call 988. They will provide you with some resources that you may not already have. And just remember, it takes a lot of courage to ask for help. And I respect the hell out of anybody that goes and tries to figure out what's going on instead of just going down the road, because it's a hell of a lot easier to self-medicate and keep going down the road than it is to go get help. So hats off to everybody that makes the choice to go find some help. And with that, what do you got, brother? What do you got for me this week?
Oh, for the positive.
For our positive.
Man, there's a couple things happening. The major one is I probably had the best bubble bath with my son today. When he pimp smacked me with bubble soap suds in the face.
Oh, nice.
After putting his own goatee on, saying he has daddy's goatee. And then what did Five Fingers say to the face is what I got. So I'm apparently raising a little Rick James in my house. That's happening. And we're getting prepared for birthdays because mine is coming up next month. And then his is the following. And got some big news for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a
can't
new
wait.
son on the way.
Yay.
So we have a new baby addition that's coming. So I got 2 scorpions. That I'm
Your
gonna
poor
be,
wife is going to be stuck with 3 men.
3 Sherman men.
That poor woman. I'm going to have to send her some bottles of wine.
Well, it was eating kitty that got me these kids. All right. So here we are. So did my job. And I'm still hungry. So there's that.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing. So I got my little scorpion. So I can't wait to have my own little dojo, because I'm gonna be training these little fighters and I'm gonna have a good time with them. So it's going down.
That's awesome. No, yeah, totally happy for you guys.
So we're in full preparation mode. We got
full prep, definitely. I don't miss the bottles and I don't miss the diapers. I do miss the little cuteness, but yeah.
Oh man, I'm soaking it all up. I'm enjoying it.
Dude.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, man. It's like my old man said before he passed away. He was like, the money, the career, all that crap. He's like, it really doesn't matter much. He's like, the photos, the memories, the trips we took, that stuff. He's like, that's the stuff that you care about when you're sitting there contemplating your life,
Oh yeah.
And it was just really enlightening, at 25 to kind of take that in, and just the fact that it just really still sticks out in my mind, that like, yeah, it's great what we do, and everything. But at the end of the day, it's these little rugrats and the memories that we make as a family that are going to matter most. So, well, with that, here's my positive. And again, it's going to sound like a negative, but it's a positive, I promise. So, my dermatologist called like an hour and a half before the show and, told me that I had 4 moles or spots taken off, about a month ago or a couple weeks ago. It hadn't been that long. And they called to tell me that the biopsies came back, and 3 out of the 4 were fine. But there was one that came back that was abnormal. And it was, there's a scale of, of fine to you got start getting into abnormal, and then the severity of the abnormal, and then it goes into like actual cancer, melanoma. So I was like, I wasn't at melanoma, but I was far enough into it that they want to cut off more. So I'm going to be going in a couple weeks to get even more cut out. And this time it's going to require like stitches and stuff like that. So, but the good thing is that I have insurance and that I'm able to go get these checks, that, it's covered. I'm not getting charged thousands of dollars to get this done because I have good insurance. And it just reminds me that everything that I've had to have done all the way up to being 42, and knowing that if I hadn't had my colon taken out in 2019, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Meaning translate that to, if I didn't have health insurance, I wouldn't be here right now. And I think everybody in this country should be entitled to the same health insurance that I have, basic health insurance, to get checked. Because if you have a family like I do, you deserve to be around to watch them graduate, to watch them have their families, to see your grandkids, things that my dad didn't get to do. And so it's another, not side effect, but it's another thing that's related to the Lynch syndrome genetic thing that we talked about a couple shows ago. So it's still tied to that. But like I said, the good news is that they found it. And because we know about the Lynch syndrome, I go in every 6 months now. But this is all new to me. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know Lynch syndrome could affect, me for skin cancer as well as my colon. And so it's just really interesting stuff. But I just feel fortunate to have, insurance, and that I'm able to get these things done so that I am around for a long time. And I'm here to bother you all and talk your ears off and, fill the airwaves with my rage and
enjoy.
enjoy. But no,
sometimes they sound the same.
Yeah, they do. But no, guys,
differ.
You guys always send me, your prayers and your good energy and, whatever it is that you believe in. And it just means the world to me. So, thank you for supporting me. Keep supporting me. Definitely could use some extra prayers over the next couple weeks. But like I said, it's nothing that's going to require any kind of treatment afterwards. It's just removing extra to make sure that nothing comes back. So
the big thing is I really appreciate how open you are, especially through this process, and that you allow all of us to be a part of it with you. Like, you really have built a really great community. You were gracious enough to let me join in on the ride and to do this together. And I honestly have to tell you, Ryan, like it's been amazing for you to be so open and transparent with us. I wish more people were, because there are other people who are going through it that will see this and realize that, you know, you are giving this a voice that is helping to calm the situation where some people could feel alone, you know,
Yeah.
and you really are allowing us to be there with you. And that takes a lot. I give you a lot of credit, man. So love you dearly for that.
I love you too, brother, and I appreciate that. You know, the reality is that's really why I started this. You know, like when I started, I was kind of documenting the 2019 surgery of my colon, and I wanted to bring awareness to Lynch syndrome and everything. So it's kind of one of the things that got me started, and we talked about it a lot. You know, I think people buy into authenticity, and I think a lot of people, they can tell if you're being fake. And so I just try to be authentic and just know that there's a lot of things, like you said, that I deal with that I know other people do. More importantly, I know that there are people out there that don't know that they deal with this stuff. And I know I've gotten messages where people are like, dude, it made me go get tested, and I found out we have this genetic marker for, you know, breast cancer. And it's like, no shit, that's so cool. You know, but it's like once you have that information, it's like, oh, all the things you can do with it to make sure that you stick around for a long time. And we were talking about it, you know, we were talking about it in the green room. You know, in the coming years and decades, medical technology is going to continue to get better. Right. And the things that we're going to be able to do with stem cells, and, you know, they're going to be able to grow my kids new colons in petri dishes and install them like a car part. You know, that's where we're headed. Yeah. And I'm glad that they are going to be able to benefit from these medical technologies and these advancements. So, yeah, no, it's all good, and I'm glad that I have good doctors. I got a great team of dermatologists and cardiologists, and, you know, all of them. So shout out to Dyson Dermatology here in Tucson. They are freaking amazing. They take care of my daughter too. So yeah, really, really good people over there, and they treat us really well. So very thankful for them. Very thankful for all of you. And brother, if you don't have anything else.
Oh man, you guys have a beautiful weekend. And
yes.
For those who are new, welcome to Hold the Mic. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. We have a good time here. The good, the bad, and the ugly, nothing is left off the table. So come join us every Friday, 8 Eastern, for those here on the East Coast, 5 for mid the country. You guys don't have daylight savings time? You
here in Arizona, we don't do that stuff.
Which is always my favorite argument with you.
I know.
But regardless, it's always good to see you, my man.
You too, brother.
And everybody here in the chat. Really appreciate all you guys here for joining us.
Yeah, seriously. Like I said, we got almost 2,000 people here watching us tonight. It's amazing to spend our Fridays with you all. And, you know, like I said, we really feel your appreciation, and we love sharing things with you, like incoming newborn babies and other things that hopefully can help you and educate you. So with that said, much love, keep fighting, stay safe out there. And remember, voterepro.org. You can go check them out, check your voter registration, make sure you educate yourselves on the people that you're about to vote for. It's important. With that said, stay safe out there.